So today what we're going to be doing is sharing with you how our developers are able to create robust optimizations in the app. And Artisan is able to actually equip you with being able to make optimizations either through the UI or through deeper business logic via what we call InCode. But before we go there, just in case there's anyone on the call who is not familiar with Artisan, to start with, Artisan is revolutionary because we created this category called Mobile Experience Management. And what that means is that Artisan is unique in its ability to be able to analyze your user's behavior, be able to test alternatives so you get this proactive analytics in terms of what will drive the best business performance within your app, and then allow you to customize the user experience based upon some kind of business criteria, such as customer loyalty level. And you're able to do that all through one platform. And specifically, the platform has 3 different products within it. One is called Analyze. And the unique things about Analyze is the fact that you're able to just simply drop in our SDK and start gathering all user behavior in the app. Any event that goes on in the app we capture, then allow you to model against specific goals, look at things like devices, users, sessions, and be able to retroactively reconstruct funnel analysis because we don't require you to tag any screens. The second product is Optimize, our A/B testing platform, and this was our first product to market. And this allows you to compare and contrast the effectiveness of different screen designs in the relation of driving, for example, conversion rates or time in app, for example. And the third product is what we refer to as Personalized. And this is the capability that allows you to create and deliver unique user experiences based upon a certain segment. That could be a demographic, it could be purchasing behavior, it could be, again, a loyalty level. And the great thing is that you're able to use all these products within the same platform, and you're able to make real-time changes to your UI without having to resubmit to the App Store. And Scott will talk to you more about how we do that in just a minute. So the first thing is as I mentioned, that Artisan is unique because we're the only provider that's able to deliver 2 kinds of optimizations in the app. One optimization is through the UI. So our canvas allows you to literally do point-and-click changes to the app. So if you want to change, for example, the starburst there, the orange starburst, you can easily swap that out for a different image. You can add images. You can also add text. And this is where you create not only your A/B test variations, but also your personalizations for your individual segments. Now we're getting into the meat of our session today, which is building sophisticated business logic into your app. So our InCode capability really allows you to get in under the covers of your app and do much more sophisticated things like user navigation or being able to make multiple changes across screens through literally a single line of code. And in order to do that, we recommend you go through a fairly simple process. The first process is to define your user experience. Think about what it is that you want your app to do and be able to articulate that. And I'll give you an example in just a minute. And then we'll implement the InCode, and then you activate it through the platform. So at the end of the process, a non-technical user, maybe a product manager or a marketing manager, is able to execute these programs within your app without having to, have to write the code themselves. So it's a code once and use many times type approach. So an example of defining a user experience could be skipping a screen. In this case, what we're going to do is we're going to skip the cart screen. So both scenarios have you going through a list view. We're selecting a specific product, in this case, a black t-shirt. But then here, what you'll notice in the bottom in row number 2, that we actually expanded the Buy Now button. So we removed the Add to Cart button here and only gave the option to Buy Now, which enables us to immediately skip to the checkout screen. So this could be something for frequent purchasers, or it could be an A/B test and you'd like to compare which one actually drives a higher conversion rate. And with that, what I'll do now is turn the call over to Scott and allow him to walk you through the basic framework of the InCode before going into the specific example. Scott?
So what we're looking at right now is the syntax for how you'd interact with the Artisan SDK to create your own experiments that can interact with your business logic or change the workflow of your application. At the top is how we initialize Artisan. That's actually going to be in all of your applications. But if you wanted to register what we call an InCode experiment, all you have to do is call this AR experiment manager, register the experiment, add variations, and then throughout the application, if you would like to have different user experience or different buttons show up, different things that dip into your business logic that are not just UI based, you can use all the way at the bottom where you see execute experiment, you can use these if statements to jump into blocks of code. Now these are all controlled from our platform back on the web and don't require any technical expertise once these are implemented. And you can also have specific target for your experiment, and there could be multiple based on the workflow that you created or specific business logic.
Oh, you want to hop into the code?
Yep.
Great. And as Scott hops into the code, as always, we encourage you to submit any questions via chat. And if we have time at the end, we'll certainly answer those. Otherwise, we'll follow up with an email with the answers to those questions.
Okay. So what we're looking at right now is Xcode, and over to the right here is a simulator that's running our demo application, and it's already logged into Artisan. What I'm going to show you is an example of creating an experiment inside of this application. So here I wanted to create a reminder in the shopping cart, or to remind you what's in your shopping cart. And I can give you an example of what this looks like when it comes up. This thing right here is all controlled by different variations. So maybe I only want to show this reminder once. Maybe I want to show this reminder always, or maybe I want to have a selection that doesn't have this reminder. So I can run an experiment and see how each of those variations performs, and see if maybe just showing it once is good enough to get an uplift. So I don't annoy everyone with showing up every time. So what I'm going to do now is reconnect to Artisan here. I'm going to just follow these instructions. So to accomplish all this, I am registering this experiment here, and I'm calling it cart reminder. For simplicity's sake, I have created a little helper class that has constants for these names, so I can refer to them all through the app and not have to worry about copying and pasting the actual strings. So I've also set the default as showing this reminder once. Let's hop into the app, and on the screen where this reminder would be shown, I have some code here. So if we're running this experiment, show reminder once or show reminder always, I hop into this block. I also have a singleton set up that helps me know whether I've already shown this cart reminder bubble once this session. So you can see that the logic here. If I'm on the experiment and my current variation is none, it won't show this block here. So the goal of this experiment is doing a checkout. And in here, I've set that we've reached our target for our experiment and have included a description with it. Let's run this, and let me show you how this is going to work. So here on the Artisan platform, I'm looking at our app map, and you can see there's an option here, configure InCode experiment. And I have one InCode experiment set up here, cart reminder, which corresponds with what I've put in here in my app delegate. And I'm going to say start. And you can see here, it's come up with the name. I could set the duration. Let's just say 3 days. Number of users, say 100. And for the sake of this experiment, we can. I'm going to do show reminder always, and but we could always do a distribution. If we do distribute evenly, they'll get 33 1/3 each, and then in this case, I'm going to force it to 100. So for the conversion goals, we set a custom goal in code, but we can also always override that, and any event that's occurring in the application can be the goal of this experiment. So I'm going to click Save here. And now all I have to do is click Start Experiment. And as long as this code has been resubmitted in an app in the App Store, I'm going to have direct access to control this experiment remotely. So click on Start Experiment. And now this is going to distribute to the group of users that I targeted. So I'm going to restart this application. And the next time we go to the screen, since I do have one item in my cart, I'm going to see this. I'm going to say not now. And if I go back this session, I don't see this again. So what this is going to do, and let me go through and hit our conversion goal, which is right here. You can see I've gone and paid for my product. What we're going to see here is how many people saw this experiment, the conversion rate, and the percentage of change, and then if we've gotten statistical significance. In this case, I've only showed one of our variations. There's the other two. And data will start populating in this pretty quickly. It's usually around a minute. But let's say we find that the show reminder always variation here is performing better than our default. We can click here, and now every user, when they go back into the application, are going to see this reminder each time we go to this screen. So let me add to cart. And go back in and out. So I'm going to say not now. And click are still on our. Okay, so now even more than one time in a session, if I go in and out to this screen, I'm going to get this reminder coming up.
Cool. Great.
Awesome.
Is that it?
Yep.
All right, terrific. We're starting to come to the close of the session. We did have one more question that came in before we wrap up, and that's if you're able to run multiple InCode experiments in the overall app at the same time.
yeah, you can have any number of experiments running, but you should make sure that they are not fighting with each other and changing things, the same thing in both experiments.
Great.
If you're going to run both at one time.
All right. Let's take a quick look, see if there are any more questions in the queue. Nope, that's it. So thank you very much for attending yet another Artisan session. And for those in the U.S., have a great Thanksgiving, and we'll catch up next week on Artisan's best practices for quality assurance. Thanks a lot, and have a great holiday.